This is a deceptive way to deal with the recoil because you think you're fighting it by fixing where that yellow dot is, but if you're aiming with the yellow dot rather than the center screen, you're going to be missing your shots. Watch where the yellow dot goes in comparison to where the green dot's going. And just for shits and giggles, let me bring up a red dot. Just in case the red dot's easier to separate from the yellow dot. You can't see it as much at close range, but the further out in range you go, look at that, it just bounces around like crazy. And like, look at how the yellow dot's basically dancing around. And it's really not actually adding recoil, it's all just visual. But I feel like it's not really representing where you're actually aiming, and that's a problem in my opinion. Here goes the MDR. As you can see, the iron sights seem to fix the problem with the MDR, with the misalignment of the aim in terms of center screen. I'm almost to the point where I believe it's just the way that they deal with recoil. Like, it's a visual way of dealing with recoil. The problem with it is that it's not exactly accurate. Like, MP7's a freaking laser beam. If you look at like the AK, look, the start of every pattern does that same thing with the crosshair. This is just like how recoil's handled. But the thing is, it shouldn't be handled in this particular manner because it just adds more inconsistency on top of the netcode and everything already. Like, look, the ACR has that same, it does this same little jiggle thing every time when you start. But then if you keep shooting, it straightens out, look. So even adding a bunch of vertical recoil control doesn't fix it. And that's just, I guess, the way that recoil patterns are handled in this game. Like, if you look at like the LVOA, look at that. So this is just on every single gun. I think if the game's not going to fix this, they should put a center screen dot into the game so that you can have some point of reference. But then at that point, you know, just make the yellow dot for the crosshair for the sight make it always be center screen no matter what, and make other things move. Make the rest of the screen move rather than the dot to handle recoil. You know, maybe that's not the best way to handle it. Let me know if you think you know the best way to handle it. AK's a lot more vicious with that recoil with the hollow sight. But you see where it's separating from center screen. So if you're really judging your aim based off that yellow dot right there that's in the middle of your hollow sight, you're actually going to be missing your shots. Logic would tell you that you would be using that dot in the middle of your sight to control your recoil, but you're not. I'm not going to go and test every single gun in the game. I'm just going to test the ones that I personally like to use. You know, I might play a little bit of matches for a day or so with the center dot and see if my results are different. I mean, even look at this. Like, I can learn at which point the crosshairs for the sniper actually line up to where I can hit a quick scope rather than, you know, shooting too early. I can actually see when I've got center screen acquired and I'm ready to hit a snipe. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways that the center dot can help. Personally, I think it's an advantage over people who don't have it, but I also, on top of that, feel like it takes away from the immersion. So, I mean, let me know what you think about it. Hope everybody has a great day.